What's up, everybody? Welcome to our second Workout Wednesday of our little Tea Times video series on YouTube. Really excited for this one. Did some thinking, did some research, got some fun new exercises for you guys to do. Just a reminder that we're trying to keep these workouts quick, brief, mostly specific to golf, but just in general overall strength building stuff. Also a reminder that we're trying to hit 5 different areas, and this is First Tee curriculum. This is what First Tee teaches are 5 of the most important areas for developing your golf game when it comes to working out. And so if you've been to a First Tee lesson before, you've encountered all of these in your warm-ups. So as a reminder what they are, we have agility and coordination, we have balance, we have flexibility and mobility, we have strength, and we have object control. I think today we're gonna switch up the order just a little bit and do our object control before our strength. Really excited to get into these workouts. Again, another reminder, we're gonna keep the explanations brief, and I'll kind of talk through how many you're gonna do or what time limit you're gonna shoot for when we talk about each specific exercise. All right, guys, let's get started. Here we are for our first exercise. And reminder, that's from the agility and coordination kind of subset of exercises that we're doing today. The first one we're gonna do is called mountain climbers. At least that's what I know them by. You guys might know them as something different. It's been a while since I've done these, but they are a fantastic exercise. It's gonna work on your core, it's gonna engage your legs, and it's also gonna make you kind of work a little bit on your balance / coordination. I think that's the main thing that we're focusing on here. What we're gonna do, I'm outside today, it's a beautiful day. I was trying to do these in the grass earlier, and my feet were slipping because the grass was slightly wet. So something to be aware of. Be careful when you're doing these. We don't want your feet to slip. That's why I'm doing mine on the sidewalk here. But what we're gonna do is we are going to get down into what's basically a push-up position. All right, and what we're gonna do is we are going to, almost like a lunge, we're gonna bring our right foot up first, and then we're gonna switch the foot that's up between our hands, just like that. Whew, those are actually tough. And so what we're gonna try to do, guys, is we're gonna shoot for 30 seconds, all right? In my last take, I said a minute, and I was like, wait, that's a long time to do those. So if you can do it longer than 30 seconds, please feel free to go up towards that minute. We want this to be challenging for you. I think that's something that is important about working out. It's not about hitting the number that you're being told to hit, like 8 to 10 reps or something like that. It's about pushing yourself and going to, where you can that day. So what we're gonna do, one set of those, 30 seconds. If you can go for a minute, go for a minute. All right, we're gonna move on to our balance exercise. And last week, we introduced you guys to the plank. If you hadn't heard of that before, sure you have. What we're gonna do is a little variation on the plank. Plank is fantastic for both strength building and balance. We're gonna focus on the balance aspect today a little bit more than last week. What we're doing is called an oblique plank. Your obliques are part of your core, and they're these muscles on the side here. If you think about a golf swing, imagine how important the obliques can be to a golf swing when all you're doing is rotating that upper body, having that extra strength there, being able to control your golf swing. It's so crucial, it's so huge. So what we're gonna do to do an oblique plank, I'm gonna come over here so you guys can see me. We're gonna do these on the right and left side, 30 seconds each. Again, just like mountain climbers, if 30 seconds is too easy, know yourself, know your limits, push yourself. Go for 45 seconds, go for a minute. Again, it's all about raising that bar and challenging yourself, okay? So what we're gonna do, come down here. We are going to balance on our right foot. Our left foot's gonna sit on top of the right foot, and our right elbow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise our hips into the air off the ground until our body forms a nice straight line, just like this. Okay, guys, if you're not feeling this right here, pause the video, rewind, make sure you're doing all the steps correctly, because immediately getting into this position, I'm feeling this right here in my right oblique, okay? So I'm gonna hold this for 30 seconds. If you want to, I've seen some people throw an arm up. You can do some balance stuff like that. I've seen some other variations of this where you kind of go down, back up, get a little rest in there. Guys, play with it, see what feels good to you. So 30 seconds this side. I'm gonna switch, go over to the other side, and do 30 seconds on the left side as well. All right, I'm not gonna show you guys the left one, I think you guys understand, but on the left side, you'll be balancing on the outside of your left foot and your left elbow. Good job on those first two exercises. Honestly, both of those are pretty difficult, and I'm sure you felt some engagement, not only in your core and your obliques, probably a little bit on top of your legs too, those are your quads. A lot of work between those two exercises, even though they might look simple. So, flexibility and mobility, we're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna grab a golf club, or if you've got a broom, a pool stick, whatever you have at home that you can use. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place that across our back, okay? Once we get the club across our back, we're gonna kind of get down, bend our knees a little bit, and get into our golf pose. This is our starting position for our golf swing, right? We have good balance, knees are bent, we don't have our knees locked out like this. Knees are bent, butt's kind of out, chest is up, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate and hold that position for about 1 to 2 seconds, and then go forward, hold this position for 1 to 2 seconds. Hopefully you heard that. Backward, hold it for 1 to 2 seconds. Forward, hold that for 1 to 2 seconds. Now, we're not going all the way forward like in a golf swing with our foot up. What we're trying to do is keep our hips and lower body stationary. Now, even though you don't want to do that in your golf swing, the purpose of this exercise is to build up your rotary torso and your range of motion. Because in a golf swing, especially because next episode of Tee Times, we're going to be talking about full swing, right? That's the swing where we're really going to get that full rotation, full extension of the club, build up the most power. Well, this little exercise is great for getting our body used to what that feels like. I know that there have been several people that I've coached throughout the years that when they first try to swing a golf club, that's about as far back as they go, because they're not used to that idea of rotating the trunk and getting that kind of movement, that twisting movement. So great exercise for you guys to do. Slow things down a little bit from the mountain climbers and the planks, get our breath, and really work on that range of motion, that flexibility. Good job so far, guys. What we're gonna be moving on to is our object control. Now, object control might be one of those areas where, at least for me, when I was a kid in the first T program, object control felt like something that was kind of unnecessary, that my coaches made me do, and I did it because they asked me to do it. The older I get and the more familiar with first Tee I become, the more I see the value in it. The reason why I say that is because maybe you come from a background where you're not playing a lot of other sports. I was fortunate, my parents got me exposed to soccer, tennis, baseball, and some basketball at a young age. And so I had a lot of different sports experiences to relate what I was working on in golf or what I was working on in soccer towards. Like, it made a lot of sense for me when somebody was saying, okay, hit this ball to that golf hole over there with your putter. And I had that depth perception built up from playing basketball, from kicking soccer balls. I had that experience to relate it to. Some of you might not have that, or for some of you, that might not be the best way to learn how to control distances in golf. So what we're gonna do here, take 2 golf balls. Super simple, right? We're gonna take the first one and we're gonna throw it out a random distance. This looks to me to be about 8 to 10 feet, okay? what we're gonna do is with our dominant hand, so if you're right-handed, use your right hand, left-handed, use your left hand. And what we're gonna do is underhand toss the golf ball, and we're gonna try to get this ball to land directly on the ball that we tossed out. How can you see this relating to golf? Well, have you ever heard of somebody say, pick a landing area, pick a spot where you want the ball to land, especially with our chipping and our pitching style shots? I've heard it probably 6,000 times in my life, okay? This is a great way to build up that skill. So let me show you guys what I mean. So a little underhand toss, and I hit the golf ball. That's fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. So what I would do now, pick up both. I'm gonna try a different distance. We'll go a little bit further this time. So my first one is out there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It nestled down in the grass. I'm gonna go for that one. Ooh, so my distance was pretty good, but my direction was off. How can this relate back to our golf swing? Well, we kind of mentioned the whole picking a landing area thing, but another thing that I think people can look over that's really important is that the underhand toss is very much like a golf swing. As a matter of fact, if I can grab my club real fast, you could even do this drill facing sideways in the same orientation that you swing and toss the ball this way. And guess what? It's like the same as when you're holding the club. This is a great way for you to develop feel and distance control without even touching a golf club and practicing hitting golf balls. I promise you, doing this type of stuff can help train your eyes and train your brain so that when you're out on the golf course and you see a shot from here to the lamppost, you know how far that is and you know what swing you need. Okay? So, I'm not gonna give you guys a certain amount that you need to do. Just go out in your backyard with 2 golf balls and toss them around. Try to land the second one directly on top of the first one. Maybe you have a brother or sister or a neighborhood friend that you've been hanging out with during quarantine. While keeping your physical distance, social distance, play a game with them. See who's closest to the ball after you both toss. Make it fun. I promise you, as silly as it might seem, that is working on some very important golf fundamentals that you're gonna need moving forward in the game. All right. Our last thing focuses on our strength. So we had agility, coordination, balance, flexibility, mobility, object control, and now strength, our last one, okay? We're just gonna do a standard push-up. Now, what I want you guys to do, I think it's really easy when we do push-ups and let me turn this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I think it's really easy to get our arms out super wide. I think that feels more comfortable because our base is wider. What I want you guys to try to do is pinch the elbows a little closer to your side. Not only are you going to be working on your chest muscles, which are definitely important for the golf swing, you're also going to be hitting some tricep muscles too that you don't necessarily hit when you're out this wide. Those tricep muscles are actually super important in the golf swing. Along with your core and your legs, I would say probably up there for the most important muscles. So, I'm gonna turn back this way. Narrow grip, I'm gonna say a little outside of shoulder width. Elbows close to the side, not flared out. All right, and we're just gonna do 10 push-ups. All right, couple things, guys. You'll notice there that my butt was kind of flat with my back. I didn't have my butt arched up into the air, and I also didn't have it sagging down towards my mat. Very important, just like our planks. We want to keep that good straight back, straight legs, all that good stuff. So you engage all parts of your body when doing this. If you find that too difficult, which is fine. Honestly, I was not able to do push-ups until I was probably like 17 or 18 years old. Completely understand. What you can do, same grip, same stance with your arms, I'm trying to say, so close to your body, elbows in, but keep your knees on your mat. And then go down like that. You're taking about maybe 50 to 60% of your body weight out of this push-up now. So you can really focus on the form. With all these things, guys, It's a very common thing for people that are working out to try to push themselves beyond what they're ready for. What I want to make sure you guys do is do these exercises, do these movements with good form. I don't care if you can do 75 mountain climbers in 60 seconds, but they don't look great. You're barely getting your legs that full range of motion. The point of these exercises is to do them right, have good form, good technique, stay safe. We don't want to get injured, but really focus on those movements because that's what's going to benefit you in the long run. All right, guys, good job today with that workout. That one's probably a little bit more intense than the last one that we did. It's time for our walk and talk. I'm in the process of making a logo for walk and talk so that, we get like this nice little intro to these. It's gonna feel awesome. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today though, and I think I probably touched on it a little bit last week on Wednesday, but how important having a physical fitness routine can be for your mental and emotional health. I think overall, just getting in the routine of doing something, exercising, whether it's running is your preference, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's playing sports, whatever the case may be, having something that forces you to get out and get active is so important for your development as well as just how happy you can be. I know that when I go through periods without working out or doing anything to stay active and to stay fit, it really does take a toll on my outlook. I'm grumpier all the time. I have less energy during the day. And that's kind of a weird thing, right? Because you would think if you're working out all the time, you would burn more energy, so you'd be more tired. But in reality, it kind of fuels your body, kickstarts it, so that you have a lot more of this energy. Another thing too that I really want to talk about is that for me, working out was not something that came easy initially. I started working out, I think the summer between, really actually started working out the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college. Now, I played soccer and all that stuff leading up to that point, so I was in decent shape, from a cardio perspective. But what I had to do was stick with it for 1 month. I had to force myself to go to the gym. I had to basically drag myself out of bed sometimes to make myself go do it. After that month though, it got so much easier and my body started craving it. I was excited to go. So if you're one of those people that kind of dislikes working out and finds it really hard to get the motivation to do it, I encourage you, stick it out for a few weeks. See if you can get over that hurdle. Because I think everybody I've talked to experiences the same thing. It takes about a month. For some people it's longer, some people it's shorter. But once you get into your routine and you develop something, and you can use these workouts to start your routine, I think it does get a lot easier, and I think that you'll find that you enjoy it. All right, guys. See you tomorrow, Thursday, for our full swing lesson.